Welcome, welcome. Welcome to another broadcast. In this broadcast, we're going to talk about Trump won, now what? Before I do that, I want you to hit the like button on this video. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome. Hit the subscribe button to get notifications of when I go live and when I upload recorded videos. If you want to know more about my spiritual teachings, you can become a Patreon supporter for as little as $1, $5, or $20 per month. It's up to you. There's no obligation and you can cancel anytime. As a member, you'll get exclusive access to instructional videos on the spiritual, on the esoteric, videos that will teach you how to meditate, how to contact and work with your ancestors, how to contact your guardian angels, how to perform lucid dreaming, how to put together a magical amulet, and what's that? Amulet. Sorry, I said amulet, thinking about eggs. And we have my exclusive ebooks that are up there that you can download and start reading for free. In addition to that, we do have some mantras, which are called Hakao, or words of power, that can help you if you're looking to find a mate, get some money, and what have you. So become a Patreon supporter today. Last but not least, share this video with family and friends so that we can get the revolution started. Haru Nefer, Grand Rising. Well, here we are, the day after the election, and Trump has won. And he some are using the term landslide, or he killed his opponent, Kamala Harris. It is a great victory for those who support Trump. As you know, I don't vote, so I don't have a dog in this race. But I wanted to talk about the Trump victory and just kind of like get a perspective on what's going on, and so we can understand the world we live in and what this means to us as people of color and some of us not of color. So let's take a look at the election results. I think that's the best way to start this out. Let me just share my screen with you because it's pretty interesting. All right. So as you see here, the two things that we were looking at is the popular vote, but more important, the electoral count. And we see that Harris has 226 and Trump has 295. And boy, look at that map. It looks like almost like a clean sweep for Trump. I mean, he just came in here and he did some damage. This guy was on a mission. I mean, the one thing that we need to consider about Trump is here's a man who spent 4 years in office. And I guess some people say that he did really well in those 4 years. The economy did well. Gas prices were low. There was no inflation. But also, here's a man who lost the following election, but came back with a vengeance. And I don't know how he did it, to be honest with you, because when he announced that he was running, suddenly these lawsuits came out of the woodwork. And we know these lawsuits were put forth by the Democratic Party. I mean, all kinds of lawsuits he was fighting. Not only that, then the 2 assassination attempts. And we're not even talking about them casting negative pictures of his negative pictures of him personally, attacking his character. So this man went through a lot to gain this victory. It was not easy. And I want to say something for those people who are Kamala supporters, because I'm not here to bash you or her. But I'm going to tell you this, plain and simple. When Trump lost re-election and Biden and Harris took the office, If they had ran the country well, with no inflation, the economy doing well, if they had did that, then I don't believe Trump would have won, because Americans would have seen firsthand how things were going smoothly and who wants to rock the boat. But the mere fact that the economy was in a wreck, that this president Biden put us in a war, and that he demonstrated that he didn't have the faculties, the wherewithal to be president. But this was all this by the Democratic Party was trying to gaslight Americans to make you believe that nothing's wrong. Kamala was brought in at the last minute, didn't have a lot of time to run her campaign. And what did she have to base her campaign on? 3.5 years where the American people couldn't even afford eggs or bread because Biden had wrecked the economy so badly. How could she win? How could she win? And the Democratic Party, who knew Biden, did not have the mental capability to run the country, again tried to gaslight Americans, put him in a debate against Trump, where he lost miserably, and then had to bring Kamala Harris in, who they knew was not a good candidate, who didn't go through any type of primary. We did not select her as a candidate according to the democratic process. She was given to us. And then they hid her for a couple of months because they knew that she wasn't a good speaker. So she didn't do interviews. And finally, when she did interviews, we saw that this woman was a terrible orator, and she didn't know how to answer basic questions. Then how could they win? Of course, it would be a landslide. And the mere fact that she had to engage in lying and character assassinations to gain in the polls, saying that Trump was Hitler, that if he became president, there would be no more democracy. I heard literally all kinds of crazy things, like he would stop interracial dating, even given the fact that he dated a black woman. This really, when you look at the basis of this, the Democratic Party strategy was garbage. The worst strategy. To put her up in front of the cameras and to see her make a fool of herself. Interview after interview after interview, she couldn't answer basic policy questions, so she had to degrade herself and the party to do attacks against Trump. So when asked questions about how is she going to fix the wall or fix immigration policies, she has to just talk about how bad Trump is. So Americans never got to know who she is, what she stood for, and what they were voting for. The desperation in this woman was incredible, to where she had to bring out Cardi B, which was embarrassing. Just embarrassing. Illiterate Cardi B. And if you pay attention closely to Cardi B's speech, and I want to reveal this to you. If you pay attention to Cardi B's speech, she doesn't know Kamala's name. She doesn't know Kamala's name. That tells you that many people were, and this is just what I believe, paid off to endorse Kamala Harris. Because when you don't know her name, and you have to stop for a moment and think, you know something's going on. So let me just show you a little bit of that speech from Cardi B, because I'm queuing it up now, actually. I'm queuing it up now. So let's take a look at that. And I'm going to point out when you can see how she takes that moment of pause to try and recall Kamala Harris's name. And the other thing you'll see is just how illiterate she is. And they put her up on the stage. It's incredible. So here we go. Let's listen to this.
How you guys doing? I'm nervous. I'm excited.
Now she's stalling here because she doesn't have her speech.
What's up, y'all?
She's stalling.
1 second, guys. 1 second.
I don't understand how you just can't commit it to memory.
Okay. So I don't take lightly the call. Sorry, guys. I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous, guys. I've been waiting for this moment this whole life. My whole life.
So how is she waiting for this moment her whole life? That doesn't make any sense.
I need patience over here. Patience, where are you, girl?
Now this is embarrassing.
I need patience over here. Hold on. How you guys doing tonight?
Well, Patience has her
How you guys doing tonight?
on her phone.
Are we ready to make history? Are we ready to make history? Are we ready to change these 4 years? No. Are we ready?
Now, here's the thing I want to point out about this whole thing about making history. They're more concerned with identity politics than actually presenting a good candidate. And it just makes Kamala seem like a DEI hire, because all they talk about is making history. And one of the guys I admire and respect a lot, who let me down, is Spike Lee. And when they asked him about what he thought about Kamala Harris, he says it's going to be history. I'm like, well, no, let's talk about her policies. Talk about how good she's going to be for ADOS people, foundational Black Americans. Let's talk about that. But no, we have to talk about she's going to make history by being the first female president or female president of color. Let's continue this disaster that's Cardi B.
To change the next 8 years, because we're going to make sure we have Kamala Harris in office for 8 years.
Here comes the speech.
Thank you. All right. Vice President Kamala Harris, thank you for having me.
Notice how she goes, Kamala, and then Harris. She doesn't know her name.
I do not take lightly the call to show up, the call to speak up, the call to deliver a message that's been on my heart for a hot minute now. Now, I took my time writing this speech, so I'm gonna make sure I deliver it right. Because I got something I've been wanting to say for a long time. I've been saying it on Twitter, on my Instagram, and I'm ready to tell it to you now.
Go ahead, girl. Go ahead, girl.
Y'all ready to listen? All right, now. All right.
All right.
Just like Kamala Harris, I too have been the underdog. I've been underestimated. My success belittled and discredited. Let me tell you something.
Now, remember, she's the one that says she raped men and she drugged them and stole money from them. Okay. But no one wants to talk about that.
Yeah, son. Women have to work 10 times harder, perform 10 times better, and still people question us how we got to the top. They be like, how she got there? Hold on, let me warm up. Yeah. Let me tell you something. I can't stand a bully. But just like Kamala, I always stand up to one. All the time, I'm ready for him. Yeah. And I'm gonna be real with y'all. I wasn't gonna vote this year. I wasn't. But Kamala Harris joining the race.
Here she goes. See, but Kamala Harris, she doesn't know her name. And she did say she wasn't going to vote. She wasn't. She said that she's sick of it and she's not going to back any candidates. So I wonder how they greased her palm. Like, what did they give her to do so?
She changed my mind completely. I did not have faith on any candidates until she joined the race and said the things that I wanted to hear, that I want to see next in this country. All right? I believe in every word that comes out of her mouth. She's passionate, she's compassionate, she shows empathy, and most of all, she is not delusional.
She's not delusional.
Yeah. Yeah. Kamala recognized that this country is at risk, that the economy needs to get stronger, that the cost of food and the cost of living is too high. Damn, it's even high for me.
But how did it get high? It got high because of her administration. You know, I mean, it's ridiculous. And this is how they gaslight you. This is how they gaslight you. Like you don't know, like the past 3.5 years hasn't been their administration. All right, let's see what Spike Lee has to say, shall we? Can we?
What's up, SEIU? I'm Spike Lee. How you doing? I'm here at 32BJ, SEIU's Philly office. Remind you how crucial your vote is on Tuesday, November 5th. My sister, Kamala Harris, is a president working families need. She will fight for strong unions that will respect for the hard work that you do. She's the only choice for protecting your union jobs, healthcare, pensions, and the dignity on the job that comes with it. Don't be bamboozled with anything else. SEIU, Union Power, has made strong working class communities across this great country. And just like union contracts, we don't do givebacks. Do the right thing and make it more better. Go out and vote, SEIU. Vote for our sister. Peace and love. It's life and death. It's life and death. And I'm not joking.
Notice how they make it extreme. You must vote. It's life and death and all this. And
thank you very much. Wow.
My sister, she's not black. During the debate with Trump, she refused to admit that she was black. She deflected when they asked her. When that question came up, she deflected. Because prior to running for office, she was all about how she's Indian and how her mother's Indian. Oh, a point I want to bring up that's very interesting. She was going to have her victory speech and party at Howard University. And during that period, when they realized that they were going to lose, she never made a concession speech. Somebody from her party came out and just told people, you can leave and she'll speak to people in the morning. That's not what you do. When you lose, you make a concession speech and you be gracious and you be gracious about the fact that you lost and you congratulate your opponent. But somehow or another, She disrespected everybody who worked so hard in her campaign, to not thank them for their hard work by not showing up and making that speech. That was disgraceful. It was absolutely disgraceful, which speaks to her character and the type of candidate she is. I mean, I'm not going to go deep into details about how much she lied during the campaign. I mean, it was just so many lies, and she would take statements that Trump had made and misconstrue them to fit her need. And that's when I saw her campaign stoop so low. But again, I say this to everyone who backed her and voted for her. If in 3.5 years our economy was doing well, it was doing robust, she might have won. She might have won. But because of the fact that her and Biden destroyed the economy, made America look weak, what did you expect Americans to do? Because they recalled the Trump presidency. And what did they recall? It doesn't matter if it was due to Trump or not, but they did recall favorable things like having money in their pockets, the economy doing well, jobs were available. So when you think about that, and you think about Kamala having 3.5 years to do nothing, what do you think American people would do? And let's get this straight. If you vote for Trump, you're not a racist. You don't admire Hitler. Those are just cheap shots and lies. Because you see, mainstream media has been using fear tactics. They've made Trump look like the boogeyman because they have an agenda. Trump is the outside guy. Now, I'll say it and I'll admit it. Trump has said some things that I thought were very bad, especially about the Central Park young men. Yes, he has said some things that were wrong and can come off racist. And when people are like, well, do you think he's racist? I said, well, yeah, I think all of our present government, the people in government, those running for president, Kamala, Biden, all of them are racist. Yes, when Kamala Harris said she'll do nothing specifically for Black people, for me, there's no way she would have got my vote. No way, making a statement like that. That's racist. When you can give support to all other people, but then you hold us to a different standard. See, this is a very interesting race because they pulled out all the stops. They had so many celebrities come out to support Kamala Harris because they thought that would be the winning strategy. They thought that we wouldn't be concerned about policies. We would be more concerned about Beyonce. You understand what I mean? But that backfired big time. And really, it was an insult to the American people, especially Black people, to have Megan Thee Stallion come out and rap and shake her ass and think that's reason enough for us to vote for Kamala. And from what I've seen of these elections, the one thing that they have now engaged in is a gender war, purposely separating Black men and Black women, making it seem like Black women are doing the right thing by voting for Kamala, and Black men are wrong for voting for Trump. They're so wrong that we have to bring Obama out to chastise them and Spike Lee to chastise them Black men, you hate women. Your mother was a black woman, so why aren't you voting for Kamala? Well, because she's not black. She's Indian. Kamala is not ADOS. She's not a foundational Black American. Her family has not gone through the struggle of slavery in this that we have in this country. Her mother is listed as a Brahmin. That's a certain class in India because they have a caste system there. I don't care if Kamala has gone to Howard University. So what, white people go to Howard University. She is not ADOS. She is not FBA. This is the reason why those titles have been created, to cast that line of demarcation, to say, we were brought here as slaves. We worked as slaves picking cotton. You didn't. Kamala did not. Her family did not. And to a large degree, neither is Obama FBA or ADOS. So we should be looking at that those candidates that they're giving us are not traditional Black people in that sense. Why is that? Why is that? Now that Trump is in office, we need to get down to business. Because of this gender politics, identity politics, gaslighting, we still have not addressed the fact that these candidates are not putting forth any effort to address our issues of reparation, police brutality, poverty, lack of jobs. They're not addressing those issues. And every 4 years, we get distracted and our issues are never addressed. Meanwhile, you have every other demographics getting their reparations, getting their bags, and we're left out in the cold. Because you know what they're good at? They're good at taking other groups like the LGBTQ group and pushing them to the forefront and marginalizing us. Look at the immigrant situation. It became a major issue to where Kamala and Biden opened the border, let this floodgate of immigrants come in, put them up in nice hotels, gave them food, gave them money, took the community centers that were in the minority communities, gave them to this immigrant group, displaced us, and now the issue became about them, the immigrants. So much so that when Kamala wrote up her economic policy, she has talked about setting aside a certain amount of money and policies to help them, to help the immigrants so they can assimilate into this country. But again, what about Black people? Nothing for us. Nada. No reparations, no addressing the police brutality. We have to get to a point where we're fed up and we're tired of every time And it's the same game plan. Bring up some obscure group. Like, if you think about it, the queer community only, their population is no more than 2%, while Black people is 14%. Yet you hear more about their concerns, their issues. But never about ours. Never about ours. We had Obama in office for 8 years, and he did not put any policies in place to help Black people in this country. Obama was a liar, a con artist, because he came and he ran on the platform of change. He is a disgusting, lying politician and a disgusting man. For him to stand up there and chastise Black men for not voting for Kamala, he needs to shut up. Because in Flint, Michigan, he allowed Black people to drink poisoned water when he knew the water was no good. But he lied and said it was. These people are not going to care about us until we show them through our might that we can remove them from their positions of power if we want to. Trump winning is a demonstration how Black men came together to vote for him because Black men saw that Trump had their interest at heart, or partly. And they saw that Kamala did not have their interest. Kamala was the worst candidate ever. I've never seen a candidate like her who just couldn't answer a question, couldn't speak properly. She was so awkward. So now that Trump is president, we have work to do. Because we have to now either is creating our own political party, creating our own movement, or what have you. Get our issues addressed by any means necessary, because it's not working what we're presently doing. It's not. And if we continue on the same path, they will continue pulling the same rope-a-dope, where they bring other minority groups, push them into the forefront, and we get pushed into the peripheral. Our interest in who we are going to disappear if we don't take some action. What other group is going to come along that needs assistance and they're going to give them a ton of money and just forget about us? We're going to have to scream. We're going to have to stomp our feet. We're going to have to do whatever it is to make them give us what's due. For 400 years in this country of oppression, we're tired of it. You should be tired of it. And it's time to make that change. If you like this message, please donate to the channel. This is Qesankh Ma'at Keperu, son of Ma'at and Tahuti. Ma'at is the beautiful goddess Heteru. Until my next video, I'm in Ra.